Hello, my name is Christina Michaels, and I'm here with Queer Dance Project. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. And today with me, we have Elle. Elle is going to be teaching a contemporary poetry workshop with us near the end of October, and I'm going to hand it over to them.
Hi, my name is Elle Hong, and my pronouns are they, she. It's really great to be here.
Cool. So we've got this great workshop coming up the last 2 weekends, 2 Saturdays in October. Let me see here. I'm going to pull up that calendar because okay. Oh, so it's going to be in October to 23rd and the 30th. It is going to be from 2 until 12 until 2 on Saturday. And it's going to be based on contemporary movement and poetry. How is that class going to look?
Right, my classes are often really focused on trying to get dancers to focus and to really bring attention to what we're seeing. I think so often moving throughout the world, we can get hit with so many distractions. And especially as queer and trans people, we know that the world can often make us feel very out of it and out of touch. And so, what I like to bring with my contemporary classes is a lot of pedestrian movement. So, we're going to get into a lot of walking, how walking can lead us in and out of the floor, how walking can allow us to bring more of the sense of perception into what we're seeing so that we can ground ourselves in the moment. And I think once we get into that space, there then leads a lot of potential for um, finding the ways that we embody ourselves and finding the ways that we connect with our surroundings and with how our bodies relate to our surroundings. So you can expect to be doing a lot of walking. You can expect to be doing a lot of laying down and getting in touch with where our attentions are at our different body parts. So what are our feet doing when we're lying down? What are our torsos doing? What are our heads doing? Our necks doing? And in that way, by bringing a sense of awareness to those little parts of our bodies that we don't maybe think about all the time, we become more fully embodied. And this can be done not just through dance practice. I'm going to be incorporating a lot of poetry, words, imagery, because I think that as humans, we need a lot of different types of ways of entering movement. We are all very different and we all relate to our bodies in very different ways. So I think by giving ourselves as many outlets for being able to find what makes us feel alive and connected, I think that that can only be helpful. So I hope that that is something that you will be able to take from this class and then translate throughout your everyday practice. So often we're just sitting at our computers and working, and sometimes we might just need to take a break and lie on the floor. Um, think of images that conjure some sort of feeling within us so that we can recharge and go back to the computer, but hopefully in a way that is a bit more enlivened and a bit more connected with our full sense of self. I think throughout today's working world, where so many of us are constantly hunched over our computers for hours at a time, um, there can be this sense of monotony, and maybe this class will help provide you with tools for being able to break that monotony. Maybe while you're working, you can take some time to take some of the tools from class, lie down on the floor, or walk around the space that you're in. Notice what you're seeing, notice what you're feeling. And you can utilize those tools from class to maybe embody or find a sense of embodiment that allows us to be more fully enlivened. And then be able to return back to what we're doing in a new approach to how we're sitting with ourselves and how we're being with ourselves. So those are some of the things that I'm hoping that people will take from class. I know that contemporary dance, like the word itself, can seem really daunting, especially for people who do not engage in a contemporary dance practice or don't have training. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that you have to have any sense of anything just to move. I think you can do whatever you want to do. And, you know, moving is such a radical act. Moving in any way that is beyond sitting at a computer, walking to the post office, walking with your groceries. There, if you move in any sort of way, throw your arm into space, like throw your head in a circle, all of those things are challenging the ways in which we're expected to move throughout the world. So, you're going to be getting a lot of that and really paying attention to how uh, moving in any type of way that you want is radical, is reclamatory, and has the potential to change not just your perspective, but the perspectives of everyone
Love
around
the
you.
topic. But what if I have an injury? Can I take your class?
Yes, I
And
am.
if I'm a beginner,
Uh,
if I'm a
yes,
beginner, can I take your class?
absolutely. I love teaching beginners. I love um, rerouting what my plans are because it's good to stay on your feet. Um, or off your feet. So, if you are coming to class as a beginner or as someone with injuries, um, I'm highly sensitive to this as someone who constantly is injured. And usually in dance, we're taught, like, oh, you have to dance through your injury, you have to power through it. Maybe we have to change the ways in which we are engaging with dance as a whole to make space to care for ourselves, to love ourselves, and give space for healing, right, through a dance practice. So if you have any injuries whatsoever, please, please, please communicate that with me because I will then shift the way that I'm teaching to make space for you. Also, if you're a beginner, yes, dance can seem very daunting, but I love teaching beginners because I think that there's a lot less to then unteach or unlearn in that sense. We get to engage in dance in a way that maybe we've never engaged in before. Um, and I think that that's exciting. And I think that oftentimes folks who have no prior dance training whatsoever um, are more open. But this is not to say that if you have tons of dance training that you will not get anything out of this class because I too have tons of dance training. I've danced in ballet companies and in theater productions with tap and jazz since 2007. Um, so I know what it is to hold a lot of dance training and feel a little resistant to things that maybe seem outside the scope of what I'm used to. But I know that when I'm engaging in dance in those ways, that I'm learning something and it's reprogramming me to be open to possibilities, right? Um, so, yeah, I'm open to beginners, I'm open to advanced dancers, and I'm open to restructuring the way that I teach to match your needs.
I love it. I love it. Um, I know that these are going to be a quick questions, but do I have to worry about my tuck or if my trans mass patients, students, do they have to worry about a binder?
No.
Okay, great. Thanks. And now I know we didn't really bring it up in the questions, but costumes. That last day is right before Halloween. Should we wear a costume?
Um, I personally will be wearing a costume. I love that. I love the possibility that we're just gonna like end up doing like this impromptu production with a bunch of different costumes. So if you want to wear a costume, please do. And if you don't feel like doing that, I understand that leaving the house, walking to your car in a costume at that point might seem strange, and that's totally okay as well. So come how you are, however you want to be.
I am so excited for this workshop. Like I am so excited for this workshop. Okay, so the last two Saturdays in July, or excuse me, July, in August, October. Gosh, my dates are crazy. October.
No worries.
And those are the last two Saturdays from 12 to 2. I'll do early registration. Can we go as young as 16 with the age group? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Great. I want to thank you for your time. I really appreciate you getting a hold of me on this Sunday morning and spending this few minutes with me. And hey, even with the little technical difficulties, I just appreciate you as a human